This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news this afternoon, Manatee County commissioners discussing the future of a Confederate statue in downtown Bradenton. That Confederate statue is in front of the historic Manatee County Courthouse. It was donated by the Daughters of the Confederacy way back in 1924. It has a Confederate flag etched on one side and the names of Jefferson Davis, Stonewall Jackson, and Robert E. Lee etched on the others. The discussion about what to do with the statue caused an emotional debate among commissioners. Local law enforcement is urging the commission to come up with a plan soon as more protests are being planned.
Gotten a request from the sheriff. The sheriff is asking us to do something. Okay. The sheriff does not want to have to plan, or does have to plan, whatever, for what they're hearing are potential additional demonstrations, whatever. He asked if we could make some sort of decision.
The commission is expected to revisit the issue later this afternoon. We'll have more on the story beginning in our evening newscast at 5 o'clock. The debate over the statue's possible removal prompted a protest and counter-protest last night. Some of the protesters support the removal of that monument, while others want it to stay put. Groups who are pushing to have it removed include Black Lives Matter, Indivisible Bradenton, and Answer Suncoast. One of the main groups in support of it is the America First Team Manatee Group. Outside, some heated arguing. Local law enforcement was able to keep things relatively peaceful.
Does that say white supremacy on it?
No, but it's also, but it also doesn't have a plaque explaining what it is also, though. It's
you're
just
offended. You're the minority that's offended by that monument.
It needs to go.
No, it doesn't need to go.
Well, the Confederate monument still remains covered in plywood. Crews covered it ahead of yesterday's protest to prevent any vandalism. U.S. Senator Bill Nelson was in Palmetto yesterday visiting students, and when asked about his stand on the Confederate statue removals happening throughout the South, Nelson says he supports the removal of the Confederate statue at the U.S. Capitol and wants local governments to decide the fate of statues outside of Washington. He also adds it's time for a positive change.
What we need are monuments and memorials that celebrate people that fought for the nation, to unify the nation, not to divide it.
Senator Nelson is also a former astronaut, having flown on a shuttle mission. He was visiting students at Buffalo Creek Middle School to take part in the solar eclipse activities. In only his second primetime address to the nation, President Trump says he's changed his mind about a strategy for America's longest-running war. But some big questions still remain, such as the number of troops he wants on the ground in Afghanistan and a withdrawal date. ABC's Lana Zak has the latest now from Washington.
Before an audience of troops, the commander-in-chief admitted he's changed his mind about Afghanistan.
My original instinct was to pull out, but all my life I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office.
President Trump says he's following the advice of his national security team, who believe the way to beat the Taliban and ISIS is with more boots on the ground. But during his speech, there was no specific number given.
There is a number that I'm authorized to go up to. I'd rather not say a number and then have to change it later on.
And the president called for a regional strategy against terrorism that will involve more cooperation from Pakistan and India. Mr. Trump reversing previous calls for a speedy exit. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says this is a new approach.
Pakistan can no longer be a safe haven for terrorism. India needs to step up and do their part. We're going to have our NATO allies very much involved in this, and we're going to push to win.
Republicans like Paul Ryan and John McCain are praising the president's speech, but one Kentucky Republican Congressman, Thomas Massie, tweeted, "I had hoped the Afghanistan war would end soon, but now it's inevitable that babies born during the war will be deploying to the war in 2019.
The Taliban called the president's policy unclear and old, and critics say that 100,000 U.S. troops were not able to defeat the Taliban, so they question whether a minor troop increase can have a major difference. But the president of Afghanistan is weighing in, saying he appreciates the renewed commitment. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
And here on the Suncoast, reaction is mixed to the president's path forward in Afghanistan. ABC 7's Ray Collins talked to local residents on both sides of the issue today. Ray?
Yeah, Scott, well, some are glad to have a new focus in Afghanistan. Others think it is simply time to move on. 16 years later, this has been America's longest war. Opponents say thousands of U.S. troops have been killed and there is still no end in sight. But supporters say they're glad the president is putting a new emphasis on finding and killing the terrorists.
Which is good because that means we won't be there as long. But I think the American people, when you go across the country, they do care about eliminating, groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and other individuals that are looking to do harm to Americans. So it's nice to see that the president is laser focused on eliminating these individuals off the face of the planet.
I'm sad because I think a lot of fine young Americans will suffer and die there for no good purpose. I think this is really a diversionary tactic by the president to make us look away from his other problems.
Now, the president says this new policy will have no timeline on the withdrawal of U.S. troops. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you. A former vice president will be honored by Sarasota Republicans this fall. Dick Cheney to be honored as the Sarasota GOP Statesman of the Year, and his daughter, U.S. Representative Liz Cheney, as Stateswoman of the Year. The event happens October 7th at the new Westin Hotel. More federal funds for SRQ. The FAA awarding Sarasota Manatee Airport Authority a $7 million grant. It'll be used for 2 upcoming projects at the airport. The first includes the purchase and installation of 13 new passenger loading bridges to replace the existing 28-year-old bridges. Funds will also go towards the creation of a runway incursion mitigation program, which will provide safety improvements to the airport's taxiways. Both projects are expected to be completed sometime next year. Let's get a look at our first alert weather forecast now. Josh Stone in for John today, and so far kind of dry out there, but hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It really is. No clips in the forecast today.
Nope.
So that's not going to help cool things down for us today. We did drop a couple of degrees yesterday afternoon thanks to the eclipse. Pretty amazing. But as far as our temperatures go right now, across the board, pick your poison. It is warm out there. 91 in Venice, 91 in Inglewood, 91 in Punta Gorda. Sound like a broken record. 91 in Arcadia. I could go on and on. It is warm. And a little bit later, I'll show you the heat index, or the feel-like temperature, because it feels maybe about 10 to 12 degrees warmer than that. Satellite radar, not a lot going on. But I guarantee that this picture will change tomorrow afternoon. So pretty quiet right now, though we could get a few showers that develop later on this afternoon. Temperatures, well, they're going to remain warm in the low to some areas, mid-90s. I'll talk more about this and have the latest on the tropics when I return back to you, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. An update now on a death investigation in Englewood. Deputies have found the car that may have been used by a killer. The maroon Grand Marquis was found last night in Sarasota. It's currently being processed by a forensics unit. Investigators are still looking for a man who left the home in that car, where one person was found dead and 2 others were injured on Sunday. New this afternoon, Palmetto police investigating a convenience store shooting. It happened yesterday afternoon inside the Citgo convenience store on 10th Street West. Police found 31-year-old Severius Carter with a bullet wound to his leg. Carter says he was shot after getting into a fight with another customer. He was taken to Manatee Memorial Hospital for treatment. Police say they've already identified the suspect and are actively looking for him, but they are not releasing his name just yet. Happening right now, Sarasota's Argosy University is hosting a career fair for area students. More than 40 local businesses are taking part, including Goodwill, H&R Block, and Sarasota Memorial Hospital. That fair started at 10 o'clock this morning outside the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. It ends at 2 o'clock this afternoon. A familiar face with this year's World Rowing Championships cheering up some sick kids this morning. Scully stopped by Sarasota Memorial Hospital to visit kids in the pediatric unit. His presence no doubt bringing some smiles to their faces. Sarasota Memorial is the official healthcare provider of the upcoming rowing championships, and organizers say bringing Scully to the hospital made sense today.
Thought, let's bring Scully over to the hospital, put some smiles on kids' faces, and that's exactly what's happened here today. And it really is a fabulous event, and seeing all these little boys and girls meeting Scully, giving him high fives.
Scully is the official mascot of the 2017 World Rowing Championships, which begin September 23rd. Coming up in your Suncoast News, a massive reward for a woman who sues Johnson & Johnson after she says the company was aware of potential dangers of its talcum powder products. And later, the new light that's being shed on the 2005 disappearance of Natalee Holloway. That story coming up a little later.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hey, how you doing? I hope you're enjoying this wonderful Tuesday afternoon inside watching us in air conditioning here at ABC 7, because outside it's rather warm. 89 right now in Sarasota, 91 in Venice, 91 in Northport. I could go on and on here with these warm temperatures, but what does it really feel like? Obviously, you look at these temperatures, we're like, wow, it's pretty warm, but it actually feels about 10 to 12 degrees warmer than the actual temperature. You factor the relative humidity and the current temperature, and you come up with the heat index, or the feel-like temperature. 101 is what it feels like in Venice and Inglewood, up to 102 over here in Arcadia and Punta Gorda. You're planning on a jog this afternoon, just make sure you hydrate yourself in these type of conditions. All right, so obviously it's going to be warm and humid this afternoon, but also there's going to be the development of some scattered showers later today, mostly south, maybe around Venice towards Port Charlotte, but either way, some scattered showers will be in the forecast. But more widespread shower activity will be coming our way thanks to a tropical moisture coming in from the south and east. We'll get to that in just a second. Right now, though, for the most part, the radar is quiet. We do have dry air that's slowly starting to erode away thanks to more moisture in the mid to upper levels coming into the area from the southeast. Not a lot going on our radar right now. It's quiet, but like I said, later today with more moisture coming into the picture, we'll have a chance for those showers and isolated thunderstorms to develop. Putting the Futurecast into motion, you can see some of these storms connect with the west coast sea breeze later today. That will get going. Not a big deal for today, but tomorrow night looks a little more impressive with this tropical moisture coming in from the southeast, a little more widespread activity here. And then as we get into Thursday and Friday, as this thing ramps up, we'll have more moisture coming in from the southeast. So what is going on here? We have a broad area of low pressure that's very disorganized. But you know what? The peak of the hurricane season is September 10th. Still a little bit of ways away, but we are getting into the thick of things here, where any sort of low pressure that develops in the tropics or a wave of energy of some sort, we got to look at it very closely, because just 2 weeks ago, Emily formed like that here in the Gulf of Mexico. Disorganized area of low pressure became a tropical storm in a matter of hours. So not saying this is going to become a tropical storm, but it's something to look at. And one thing for sure, this area of low pressure that's disorganized now is going to be responsible for inundating us with the tropical moisture. Another thing that's interesting is down here in the Caribbean, making its way over the Yucatan Peninsula. This doesn't look that impressive as far as organization, but as it taps into these warm waters of the western Gulf of Mexico, as this slowly moves west and northwest, this could potentially develop into a storm, if not a minimal hurricane. This is a remnants of Harvey, but it could re-strengthen and affect it, possibly Galveston or Houston. So we're going to have to look at that closely. It won't affect us, but still will be a big weather story. As far as your tides today, low tide will be at 9 p.m. this evening. Boating forecast northeasterly, north winds at 10 knots. The extended outlook shows it to be warm, low 90s, but more tropical moisture makes its way into the area thanks to that system that's coming in from the southeast. Scott?
All right, Josh, thank you. In health news today, a blockbuster ruling against Johnson & Johnson. A jury is ordering the company to pay a record $417 million to a woman who claims its talcum powder caused her ovarian cancer. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the details.
Pharmaceutical and consumer giant Johnson & Johnson ordered to pay $417 million to this woman, 63-year-old Eva Echeverria, who was diagnosed with ovarian cancer 10 years ago and is terminally ill. She says she started using the company's famous baby powder when she was 11 years old and only stopped using it last year after seeing a story about a possible link between the talc used in the product and ovarian cancer.
Do you have any fear that you might die here?
Yes. A jury watching the grandmother in this videotaped deposition. Her lawyers saying she is on her deathbed and currently too sick to testify in court.
I have a grandson. He's 5 years old and he loves me so much.
According to the latest lawsuit, Echeverria claims she developed ovarian cancer as a direct and proximate result of the unreasonably dangerous and defective nature of talcum powder. Echeverria testifying that if the company had labeled their product with a warning, she would have stopped using it.
Eva would like to get the message out to other women in the country.
This is just the latest in a series of lawsuits Johnson & Johnson has faced from women with similar claims. Last year, juries in 3 different Missouri trials awarded women combined damages of over $300 million.
I'm hoping that Johnson & Johnson will listen to us and give us a warning, give other women a warning.
But according to the medical community, the evidence of a possible link is unclear. The American Cancer Society saying it is not clear if consumer products containing talcum powder increase cancer risk. Johnson & Johnson telling ABC News while it sympathizes with the women and families impacted by this disease, it will appeal the verdict, saying it is guided by the science which supports the safety of Johnson & Johnson's baby powder.
That was Rebecca Jarvis reporting. Also today, some alarming news about mothers not putting their babies to sleep safely. According to a study published in the medical journal Pediatrics, less than half of U.S. mothers are putting their babies to sleep properly. For nearly a quarter century, experts have been telling parents to put newborns to sleep on their backs. It reduces the chances of sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, and other sleep-related deaths like suffocation. But after a years-long effort to raise awareness, not even half of the mothers in the U.S., according to this study, are following that advice. August is National Immunization Awareness Month, and while the issue is mostly stressed upon kids, adults have some important vaccines to get as well. One of them is the shingles vaccine. It's for people over the age of 60. Other important vaccines for adults include Tdap, hepatitis A and B, meningitis, MMR, tetanus, and pneumonia, which are given at different times throughout adulthood based on a person's age. The best way to protect yourself from preventable disease is to visit your doctor regularly and get vaccinated when appropriate, starting with an annual flu shot.
Right now, you need one every year. You decrease your need for hospitalizations from all causes by 50%. You decrease your risk of heart attacks over a 10-year period by 25%. It's a huge changes just by getting a little prick.
Research has also shown that vaccines can significantly reduce a person's risk for hospitalization and complications, as you heard there, from those preventable illnesses. All right, time now to head over to the kitchen and say hello to our guest today, Chef Eddie Iziri from Apollonia Mediterranean Grill at the Shops at University Center Mall right off University Parkway. Eddie, great to see you again. What's on the menu for today?
Hi, Scott. Today we'll be doing a Corvina fish with a spinach, dill, lemon risotto.
We'll be right back with Eddie in the kitchen right after this.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
In sports, the Cleveland Browns bonded over something bigger than football last night. More than a dozen players huddled together on the team's bench to protest during the national anthem before hosting the New York Giants. The group included veterans, rookies, starters, and backups. Protest was the largest so far in a movement started last season by quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who is currently out of the NFL. Also during last night's game, Odell Beckham Jr. suffers an injury. The star wide receiver hurting his leg after taking a legal but questionable hit on the knee right there by a Browns defensive back. The impact flipped Beckham onto his side. He spent a few minutes sitting alone on the bench before heading to the locker room. TV cameras captured him dropping to his knees outside New York's locker room. The Browns end up winning the game 10-6. Sarasota Scullers rowing team is back from the U.S. Rowing Masters Nationals in Tennessee. The team was in Oak Ridge to defend its 2016 Rowing National Championship. The Scullers did not disappoint. Laura Corbett and Karen Wygant combined to secure 5 gold national championships, a silver and a bronze. The team medaled in all eligible events. Great showing. Lacrosse continues to gain in popularity among area high schools. A local group called SRQ Lax worked to establish lacrosse as a varsity sport in Sarasota County public high schools. And now Venice High School will get the boys and girls lacrosse teams in the spring. SRQ Lax started with a very successful team at Riverview High School just last year. All right, back to the kitchen now to check in with Chef Eddie Izeria from Apollonia Grill at the Shops at University Center Mall. Josh is with him now. Guys?
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Well, we sure have a feast in front of us here. What are we looking at?
We got a lot of stuff here, but it's a simple recipe, so it may look intimidating, but it's very simple. We'll be doing a Corvina fish, which is...
Now, let me stop you there. A Corvino fish. What, I've never even heard of that.
Corvina, it's a very popular South American fish. It usually grows in the around the South America and the Central America. It's highly prized for its very mild, sweet flavor and flaky texture. So I'm seasoning the fish on both sides, just simple salt and pepper. And I got a pan with some hot oil right here that I just heated, so we want to get a nice sizzle on that. So we're going to cook the fish on the pan and finish it there. But you want to get the pan really hot to get the nice brown color on top. You always want to pat the fish dry as much as possible, so that way you don't get any moisture on the outside, and that kind of boils the fish and it doesn't give it a really nice color to it. And then we're going to pair that with our couscous risotto.
Now there's different grains of couscous, right?
Yeah, there's a smaller one, which is the more classic way, that it's a Moroccan couscous. Today we'll use an Israeli couscous. I like this one because it's larger. It's almost like pearl pasta. That's what they call it, and it kind of looks like a rice. Which, speaking of rice, usually this recipe. It's a classic recipe, but it's made with rice or arborio rice. Okay. The reason why we make it with couscous, it's just something different, it's a little bit more unique versus good old rice. People may have tried it many, many times.
Probably adds a lot of different flavors.
Yes, and then we put our own spin on this recipe. We're adding some shrimp and scallops just to improve the flavor on the risotto. Okay. If you can't find the shrimp and scallop, then you can skip it completely. So I'm adding some baby shrimp. They're inexpensive. You can find them anywhere. Even frozen is fine. But it just really improves the flavor, and I think they pair very well with the fish. So I got some baby scallops in there, and we got some shrimp. We got some onions.
And how long does this take?
Usually 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. So they cook very fast because they're very small. So our fish is cooking. Hopefully we can finish to get one side of the fish really nice and toasted. I'm trying to get this going as much as possible here.
Now, the name of the fish again?
Corvina.
Corvina.
Yes.
Now, if you can't find this fish, sounds kind of exotic, what would be a good substitute? You
can substitute it with any of your favorite fish. Salmon works really well with this recipe. Snapper, grouper, those are available. But Corvina, it's a very inexpensive, I don't want to say inexpensive, but it's, in comparison to snapper or grouper, it's a lot less money. And it's available all the time. So we put in some spinach in there, and we're going to cook that down. I'm going to try to cook it down as fast as possible. Sure. We're going to add some fresh herbs. Dill is very classic with fish. Lemon, dill, those are traditional. And a little bit of fresh parsley as well too. If you don't like dill, then you could use basil or mint for that matter. So we're going to try to cook this down.
Great to me.
And then we're going to add our couscous. So obviously you want to cook this spinach down so it's all wilted and it's sauteing together. Okay. And then we're going to add the couscous to it. Usually about 2 cups. 1 cup per person is fine. And you're just going to cook this together, sort of marry it all together in that pan. We are going to add a little bit of heavy cream, just a touch. And that heavy cream will bind everything together.
Okay.
There we go. I think we got nice heat over there going. And then we'll plate our fish here in a second. So I'm going to flip it over. We didn't get that nice brown golden color on top. If we left it a little bit longer, then we would definitely get that.
Well, we got about 20 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to squeeze some fresh lemon juice into our risotto. This is going to liven it up and brighten it up.
Ooh. I see.
So a nice squeeze. So you want to do about a full lemon, and then if for plating purposes, we have a finished product over there, but I can walk with you on how to plate this. Okay. So we'll put our risotto right in the center. Usually we use some baking rings at the restaurant, so we fill that up and it gets a really nice perfect round. So it looks really neat.
Well, we've got to wrap up here, but I'll tell you, this looks amazing. And it smells even better.
Pair it with some green beans right here.
And the presentation style, obviously, is terrific.
Sure, people eat with their eyes, right?
Exactly.
So, and if we would finish that fish, and we would just pair this right on top.
There you go. Well, it looks perfect. Well, folks, if you want this recipe or any others, go to our dining tab on our website at mysuncoast.com, and you'll find a lot of great things. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Discover all the reasons the experts love Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Right now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Topping our news this half hour, the remains of Navy sailors are found in a flooded compartment of the USS McCain. The warship collided with an oil tanker near Singapore Monday morning. The collision left a gaping hole in the ship's hull, causing water to rush in and flood crew berths, machinery, and communication rooms. 10 sailors were killed, 5 were injured. The Navy is now working to confirm the identity of the remains that were found.
Right now, we are still searching for our 10 missing sailors. That remains our focus. Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the families of those sailors and the families of our sailors who were injured.
This is the 4th incident involving Navy vessels in Asian waters this year alone, and the 2nd major crash in 2 months. It has prompted the U.S. Navy to order a rare operational pause to investigate why this keeps happening. An overnight train crash injures dozens of people in Philadelphia. More than 40 people were hurt after a transit train rear-ended a parked train at a station. The passenger aboard the train says the impact knocked him and others right off their feet to the ground. The train's conductor was also hurt. Transportation Authority officials are now investigating the cause of that crash. In Italy, 3 young brothers are rescued by firefighters after their home collapses in an earthquake. It happened on the resort island of Ischia late last night. The youngest child rescued was only 7 months old. He was trapped for about 8 hours. Their parents were rescued earlier. At least 2 people were killed, 39 people hurt in the magnitude 4.0 quake. New details this afternoon on a 12-year-old mystery. Back in 2005, high school student Natalie Holloway vanished on a high school graduation trip to Aruba. Her father is now speaking out about a new finding that some believe could help crack this case. Nightline's Juju Chang has more.
For 12 years, Natalie Holloway's disappearance has remained an unsolved mystery. The 18-year-old went missing while on a high school graduation trip to Aruba. Now, Natalie's father, Dave, says his 18-month investigation with private detective TJ Ward has yielded a breakthrough, thanks to an informant, including what they insist are human remains.
I'd already conditioned myself that this was not real, and I was literally shocked that they were human remains.
The informant led you to these remains?
That's correct, along with the person that was friends of Joran Vandersloot.
Vandersloot, the man last seen with Natalie after a night of drinking before she disappeared. The 30-year-old is now serving time in a Peruvian jail for killing a different woman. Many say Natalie's parents were victims of a botched investigation from the start by Aruban authorities.
Little did they know, they were up against the whole Aruban government. There's never closure when your loved one is murdered, okay? I know that. But at least they would know that they have her remains and she could be buried.
Natalie's father says he won't give up on finding the truth and getting justice for his daughter.
So what is it that you're hoping to get out of revisiting it?
Well, it's my daughter, and you want to find out what happened. And it's like this. Are you going to sit on your wallet and stay home and worry yourself to sick with medical bills and chest pains and not sleeping at night, or are you going to get up and go and do it and
try to find answers?
Find answers.
Natalie's father says it may take weeks for those crucial remains to be tested for a DNA match to Natalie.
If the DNA test is positive, where do you put that in your mind, in your heart?
It will be the end of a long, long journey, but we're not there yet.
That was Juju Chang reporting. This controversial discovery is part of a 6-part series, The Disappearance of Natalie Holloway, on the Oxygen Channel. Also, Aruban authorities are denying the discovery of human remains in an area pointed out by Holloway. Here at home, new developments about a video of men dragging a shark by a boat. More than 250,000 people have signed a petition that's urging the state to take some action. The group Stand Up, Bark Back SRQ delivered the petition to the state attorney's office yesterday in Bradenton. It asked the state to order the men to complete 1,000 hours of community service, revoke their fishing licenses, and for lawmakers to pass a bill to make similar animal torture a felony. Some historic flooding in portions of Kansas City. More than a dozen drivers were stranded after more than 9 inches of rain fell yesterday. Other parts of the city saw about 4 to 6 inches. Flash flood warnings are in effect today. Police and fire crews are planning to go door to door, asking people to voluntarily evacuate if their homes are in danger of flooding. Too much rain too quickly for that area of the country, and we've been kind of dry here on the Suncoast for a couple of days. Josh is in for John today with more on that.
Yeah, tropical moisture will be in our forecast over the next few days coming in from the southeast. But this afternoon, relatively dry, but later on today we'll get our chance of showers and storms that will develop. 89 degrees is our current temperature, so it is warm out there. It's a little bit warmer when you factor the heat index. We'll show you that in a little bit. Southeasterly wind at 9 miles per hour. Radar for the most part pretty quiet along the sun coast. You can see though shower activity to the south and east of Florida. That's the beginning of a tropical wave coming in our direction. Actually an area of low pressure that's really not organized at all, but we still will see the effects of it as it approaches here into Florida. Well, it's going to be warm this afternoon. As highs will top out in the low to mid 90s. And then, well, showers could help cool things down a little bit later. Talk more about this in a few minutes. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. In consumer news, the IRS is warning companies about a huge increase in email phishing scams. This scam puts workers' social security numbers and other important information in the hands of thieves. The scammers send an email that appears to be from an IRS executive asking payroll or HR departments to send a list of all employees and their W-2 forms. About 200 businesses, schools, and other organizations were victimized during this year's tax filing season, resulting in the theft of hundreds of thousands of employees' data. Walmart is expanding its grocery delivery service with Uber. The service will now be available in Dallas and Orlando. Walmart launched the delivery service last year and then Tampa earlier this year. Delivery charges for the service about $9.95. The decision to expand is the latest step by Walmart to offer more options for online grocery shopping in order to compete with online leader Amazon. A unique partnership for Ford. The company is looking to team up with a Chinese automaker to create electric vehicles. The potential venture can add to the global auto industry's rising activity in electric vehicles for China, which passed the United States last year as the biggest market for them. Ford plans to offer electric versions of 70% of its models in China by the year 2025. When we come back, Josh will have another look at our forecast for the rest of the work week. And you're not going to find any cows or chickens on this farm. That story when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Join the fun at the Weddings of Sarasota 17th Annual Wedding Show at the iconic Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on US 41. Sunday, August 27th from noon to 4. Enjoy food, fun, and entertainment with a runway show on stage at 3 p.m. $2,000 in Weddings of Sarasota dollars given out after the runway show. You must be present to win. Pre-register at weddingsofsarasota.com. Brides and grooms are free if registered by midnight on August 25th. Weddings of Sarasota. Register today.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me.
Oh, they're playing my song.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Well, I hope you're having a very pleasant Tuesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Josh Doan in for John Scalzi today and for the rest of the week. We're checking out our current temperatures right now, and it is warm. 89 in Sarasota currently, 91 in Venice, 91 in Northport, 91 in Arcadia, and even warmer than that out here in Sebring and Lake Placid. 92 there, 93 in Sebring. So it's warm. You factor the relative humidity and the temperature, and you get the feel-like temperature, or the heat index. Triple digits across the board, and it is warming up here in Northport, Inglewood, Punta Gorda, Arcadia. It feels like 103 degrees. So if you're going to be out jogging this afternoon or doing any sort of exercise or strenuous activity, make sure you keep well hydrated in these type of conditions. So it's going to be warm, muggy, humid this afternoon. Few showers and storms will develop later on today, helping to cool things down just a bit, but these will be scattered in nature. And then more widespread shower activity comes our way thanks to tropical moisture coming in from the southeast. Now right now, looking at the radar, it's quiet for the Suncoast because we still have a little bit of dry air aloft above us. That's suppressing any sort of widespread moisture to develop, but more moisture will erode that dry air as it comes in from the south and east. You can see beginnings of this tropical moisture here off the southeast coast of Florida right now, but our radar right now, the time being, is quiet. Like I said, a few scattered showers will develop later on today. Now, this looks interesting. Well, could this be a shower? No, it's actually some smoke from maybe a controlled burn. You can see the general plume of smoke blowing eastward. The winds are eastward, and this is what's happening here in Manatee County. Hopefully it's a controlled burn. We'll check on that for you. But as far as our futurecast goes, a few scattered showers this afternoon, as we talked about. And then things start to ramp up a little bit for tomorrow afternoon and early evening with a little more moisture coming our way. That's due to the tropical moisture coming in from the south and east. Broad area of low pressure, not really organized, could strengthen. We'll have to watch this closely because we are getting close to the peak of hurricane season, which is September 10th. So any flare up in the tropics, we have to take pretty seriously. But this is not organized. If it does strengthen, of course, we'll watch it very closely. But one thing for sure, this will inundate us with widespread showers and thunderstorms over the next few days. Another area of interest is what we have here, the remnants of what was once Harvey. This looks to actually get going, strengthen, and potentially become a tropical storm or possibly a minimal hurricane as it enters the western Gulf of Mexico and banks up towards possibly Galveston, Texas, or towards Houston. We'll have to watch that closely too. Tides today, 118 for the high tide this afternoon. Looking like a pretty nice day to take the boat out for this afternoon and early this evening. There's tropical moisture coming into the area by next few days, and highs will remain in the low 90s. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. The Suncoast offers many opportunities for entrepreneurs, including the opportunity to create a butterfly farm. ABC 7's Linda Carson has a story in this week's A Place We Call Home.
Butterflies from the Flutterby Commercial Butterfly Farm in Bradenton travel all over the country to be released at funerals, weddings, and other celebrations.
We raise butterflies, about 20 different species, on and off throughout the year, and we are a wholesaler as well as a retailer.
A butterfly farm is a strictly regulated business.
We're governed by the United States Department of Agriculture, and the butterflies have to be commercially bred and reared, and it's the second generation that can be sold.
The butterflies lay their eggs in these flight houses. The eggs are gathered and taken to the labs.
We have labs where all the caterpillars are being fed, so rather than a butterfly farm, we're more of a caterpillar farm because that's part of the life cycle. It's egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, and then butterfly.
Each butterfly species is very different, from the plants they feed on to their lifespan.
Average lifespan is 2 weeks, but some can live 6 months.
They live in these butterfly gardens in enclosed flight houses.
A butterfly garden is like a singles bar. The males are looking for the girls, and the girls are looking for a place to lay the eggs.
When an order comes in, they're shipped out overnight.
They're packed in glassine envelopes, and since they're a cold-blooded insect, you can control their behavior by controlling the temperature. So we use a thermal box with ice packs, and that chills the container down so that they're calm and not trying to get out of their envelope.
Connie has always loved butterflies. She started this butterfly farm when she got fed up with the insurance business.
It was a hobby, and I was searching for what the purpose of my life was. And one day in prayer while I was feeding caterpillars, I said, Lord, what do you want me to do with my life? And he said, you're real good at raising caterpillars. And I thought, is it that simple that you can have your heart's desire? And the answer was yes.
So she made a deal with God.
I made a partnership that I'll raise the caterpillars, but God's got to find the customers. So he does a good job, and they're gone every Friday.
Flutterby Gardens is one of the largest butterfly breeders in the country. Thousands of butterflies are born here every week, and thousands of butterflies are shipped out. It's not open to the public, but you can place your orders online. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Linda, thank you so much. Coming up, a celebrity couple is donating to fight hate groups. And one of Hollywood's biggest stars is now heading to Broadway. Those stories coming up in entertainment news.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck. The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
We're learning more about the death of Jerry Lewis. The comedian and actor apparently died of heart disease, but the wording on his death certificate differs from what was reported earlier on. The official cause of death was end-stage cardiac disease. Lewis died Sunday in Las Vegas at the age of 91. Bill Cosby back in court today for a pretrial hearing. He wants a judge to sign off on a swap that would give him a fresh new legal team ahead of his sexual assault retrial this November. Cosby recently hired the high-profile attorney who won an acquittal in Michael Jackson's child molestation case to join his team. The 80-year-old comedian is being retried on charges and he drugged and molested Andrea Constant at his suburban Philadelphia home in 2004. He claims it was consensual. A massive donation from the Clooneys. George Clooney and his wife Amal donating $1 million to the Southern Poverty Law Center through their foundation. That donation comes in the wake of the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, and other recent events. The SPLC is the premier U.S. nonprofit organization that monitors the activities of domestic hate groups and other extremists. Denzel Washington is returning to Broadway. The Oscar and Tony winner will be starring in a classic revival of Eugene O'Neill's The Iceman Cometh. It's opening next spring. Multiple Tony winner George C. Wolfe will direct the production. Finally this afternoon, a couple in South Carolina have named their newest bundle of joy after the solar eclipse. Baby Eclipse Elizabeth Eubanks was born just after 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Her parents say the decision to name her after the solar eclipse actually started just as a joke.
Just on the drive here, you know, trying to keep her mind off of the contractions, you know, I started joking around. I was like, hey, you know, if she's born during the eclipse, we're going to name her Eclipse.
And I was like, I actually like that.
Couple says for months they had the name Violet picked out, but because this was the first coast-to-coast total solar eclipse in nearly a century, they figured the name should be just as rare and meaningful. So, Eclipse, or they say they might call her Clipsy.
I like that.
She gets older, but yeah, we'll
nice
see.
ring.
Yeah. Everyone will know when she was born.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
They were there.
They won't forget her birthday.
They won't forget. Yeah. Well, Scott, there's going to be tropical moisture moving into the area over the next few days. As you can see, a little more activity as far as wet weather goes. We haven't seen this in quite a while, but this afternoon we'll get our share of some scattered showers. But one thing for sure, it is going to be warm today, so if you're going to be outside for an extended amount of time, make sure you keep hydrated.
Okay. Josh, thank you, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Have a wonderful day ahead, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock for the latest news and weather. Hope to see you then.